This is one of the earliest known photographs of Lewiston's waterfront. Estimated to be from the late 1880s, you can clearly see lots 1 through 8, which ran from South Water Street north to where the Silo restaurant now stands. Charles M. Wagoner bought the southernmost lots 5, 6, 7, and 8 from the estate of Arthur Gray in 1888. In the same year, Charles borrowed money from Mayor of Buffalo, Philip Becker, presumably to build his waterfront hotel. This is the first known photograph of the Wagoner Hotel, as it came to be named. A reporter from the Suspension Bridge Journal, a weekly publication from Niagara Falls, wrote of his stay at the Wagoner Hotel, a few days' sojourn in the ancient village of Lewiston. In the author's opinion, Mr. Wagoner keeps a first-class house and is a gentleman who spares no pains for promoting and welfare of his guests. Mayor Philip Becker had assisted in the startup costs of the Wagoner Hotel, but apparently the borrowed money was not enough to keep the hotel running. In 1892, Mr. Wagoner borrowed more money from Lewiston merchant John Fleming. In 1893, Mayor Becker sued Mr. Wagoner, his wife, John Fleming, and several others, and the mortgage was in foreclosure by December of that year. While all the legal red tape was getting sorted out, Philip F. Pitts of Niagara Falls, notably a good friend of Mayor Becker, took over the hotel in 1893 and renamed it Angler's Retreat Hotel. Angler's Retreat became famous as a resort for tourists. The Great Gorge Trolley ran right past its front door, and the New York Central Depot was across the street. Mr. Pitts offered a comfortable and attractive hotel with every modern convenience. His boathouse was fully equipped with boats, fishing tackle, and bait. Experienced fishermen and women came from far and wide to explore the Niagara River and the abundance of fish. Newspaper ads from the time note that Angler's Retreat offered first-class accommodations for guests and a boat livery connected with the hotel. A later ad noted, "While seeing America, first stop at Phil Pitts's Angler's Retreat in Lewiston, New York. Good fishing and boating. Try one of his famous fish dinners. Courtesy and service extended to one and all." In April 1909, the lower Niagara River suffered a debilitating ice jam. The ice rose nearly 65 feet and reached the first floor of Angler's Retreat. An April 24, 1909 article in the Youngstown Times documented the danger. At Lewiston, much anxiety is manifested on account of the encroachments of the water and ice. A huge boulder of ice stands back of Cornell's Hotel, and the building is considered in danger. The props are swept from under the veranda of the Pitts Hotel. The houses occupied by Henry Vaughn and Frank Lonsdale were vacated Tuesday night, and the buildings moved back to keep them from being torn to pieces by the ice and water. The ice is heaped many feet high on either side of the river, and mounds of ice rise at various points near the center. Ultimately, Governor Hughes of New York ordered 2,000 pounds of dynamite stored in Buffalo be loaded onto wagons and brought to the mouth of the lower Niagara. Blasting soon begun, and they continued up the river until the ice cleared. Prior to 1964, ice jams in Lewiston were a yearly possibility. With the advent of the Army Corps of Engineers ice boom in Buffalo, these occurrences have been eliminated. The last ice jam was the winter of 1955. In September of 1910, the area was once again in the news when the Niagara International Carnival Committee promoted a motorboat race through the whirlpool rapids of the Niagara River. Captain Claus Larson was the only boater to respond to the ad. Larson successfully navigated the rapids, but his boat was swamped within sight of Queenston, Ontario. In October of the same year, the New York Times headline read, runs Niagara Rapids in motorboat again. Captain Claus Larson, in a new steel craft, gets through safely second time. The article continues, in his 15-foot motorboat, Niagara, Captain Claus Larson of Detroit successfully navigated the Whirlpool Rapids and the Devil's Hole Rapids in the Niagara River. The 7-mile trip from the Canadian Maid of the Mist landing to Pitts's Pier in Lewiston was made in just 31 minutes. The children of Mr. Pitts were not interested in the hotel business, so in 1930 Philip Pitts sold his Angler's Retreat. There is a gap in the Lewiston Museum tax records between 1914 and 1960. We do know that Joseph Tierce owned the building in 1960. An undated newspaper interview with the son of Philip Pitts mentions that the building had changed hands 4 times since his father sold it in 1930. By 1976, the building was the Riverside Inn, owned by the Turgeon brothers. It was a bustling Lewiston restaurant, known for their seafood and popular nightclub. In 2004, the newly renovated and redecorated Water Street Landing was opened by owner John DiBernardo, offering 2 distinct dining rooms with menu options ranging from fine dining to casual pub food. The current business is still drawing diners from Western New York and Canada to historic Lewiston and the majestic Niagara River. 115 South Water Street has witnessed a lot of history in the last century plus a few years, but some things remain the same. The amazing view and courtesy and service extended to one and all. For more information on the Historical Association of Lewiston and membership, please visit historiclewiston.org.